Hey girl, hey, this is Getting Younger. If you spend every week counting down the days until the next episode of Younger, I got you. My name's Taylor Strecker and we're live in Union Square in New York City. We have such a good show for you tonight. I'm so excited. As always, the show is about you, the fans. You're the producers actually, telling me what you want to talk about, questions. Sorry to my producer who thinks she's in charge, because actually you're in charge. So start sending me all of your questions, your comments, and vote in our first fan poll. So last week, Liza and Josh were getting close again. Do you think that he could actually be back in the mix? Yes, mix it up, or nix on the mix. Type in your vote in the comment section below right now, and we'll get to all of your votes in about 4 minutes. But first, my guest of the night, the one and only Debi Mazar. Hi, Debi.
Hello, darling.
I love her. I'm so excited you're here.
So happy to be here.
And you're flying to Italy tomorrow.
Tomorrow I'm going home.
You're going home.
Yes, I'm going to Florence.
So the packing is done?
Packing is not done.
Oh no, oh no.
I did most of my packing today, but I have to now do my hair pieces, all the beauty stuff, because I've got teenage daughters, so it's like hair products, makeup, highlighter. It's like, it's insane.
Don't lie, how many bags?
I have daughters, 9.
For just you?
My husband, like, I need to like have sex with him because like, he has to deal with all of the girls constantly. So his only outlet is either sex or riding his Ducati.
Oh, those are some good outlets.
So yeah, no, tonight and tomorrow is gonna be very intense until we depart in terms of like packing.
Well, thank you for coming here.
I couldn't be more happy to be
We
here.
appreciate it.
Yes.
So we're also drinking a cocktail of the night. It is called the Double Dipper.
Ooh.
So let's cheers to Kelsey for being a double dipping diva. She is. And she's flirting with both of those hot boys, Jake and Zane. So cheers to that.
Cheers
I like
to
that.
her. And cheers to Hillary for having a baby.
Cheers to Hillary for having a baby or being
It's really
pregnant.
nice. Wow.
Okay, it's tequila, it's delicious, it's refreshing. So let's talk about double dipping. What do you think about dating 2 people at once?
Well, to be honest with you, I think if you are single,
Yes.
it's perfectly fine.
I agree.
Why not 3 or 4?
What's your max that you can juggle at any given time?
Well, I really couldn't tell you because I've always been like a one-man woman. When I was in my prime of dating and not, you know, being in a relationship, I think I was dealing with 3. 3. So I would schedule them differently.
Was there like a system that you want to share with us?
No, not really. Not a system. That I kind of like. I remember sitting at a table at the SAG Awards, and thinking like, okay, I'm seeing 2 people at this table right now. Oh my God, and it was empowering.
Yes.
And I've always been kind of more old-fashioned, and Madonna said to me, Debbie, like, why are you like being so like
Prudish?
virginal, like just date and have fun, because if you get married, it all ends there. And so I thought, ping, and I decided to start like dating, you know, different people, just because I felt like before I got married, I really wanted to know. I never had I had a type, and I married my type, but I wanted to try different types of men, women, and try to like figure out like what was going on and figure out who I was and what I wanted out of my life.
Yeah.
And I married the right guy, I have to say. But at the time where I was dating multiple guys, it was really kind of crazy because it was like, okay, let me like try to figure out what Friday's like or Thursday's like, you know, and like make sure I don't like cross over.
Well, right now, Kelsey's just flirting with Zane and Jake, but if she continues further, it could get interesting on the show.
Yeah, well, it does get very interesting. And,
Okay.
and with Kelsey, I think her double dipping is actually fantastic. And her paramours are a little bit obsessive and controlling. And her being a powerful woman, I think that she's dealing with it in the right way. And I think this will reveal as the story comes along. But both storylines are pretty interesting and hot. And I think that the Jake story is interesting because he is actually vindictive.
Yes.
And that sends the story over into a whole other dynamic.
That's a good tease.
Yeah.
I like that one. Well,
Yeah.
we have a lot more questions coming up for you from the fans. So you guys get your questions in right now. But first, let's get into last week's episode. While Kelsey was killing it, Liza's love life almost led to losing everything when new boo Don Ridley tried to publish a story that would expose her real age. What a dick. Take a look.
This story might end up being the best thing that ever happened to you. It can make you the poster child for ageism.
And also kill my career. And damage Millennial.
Well, none of that's gonna happen. They just pulled it. There's some social media thing that's exploding about being age queer, whatever that means. Suddenly everyone's sensitive to age shaming.
Oh, wow. Good. They should be sensitive to it.
Yeah, and once again, I'm out. Now, it seems like the only people who get discriminated against anymore are middle-aged straight white men. Hashtag me, okay? Hashtag me.
You know, I think I might know why you can't find work.
And why is that?
Because you're an asshole, Don.
Oh, yes, honey, yes. It looks like Maggie is starting to rub off on Liza a little bit right there. I liked how she just told him off.
I'm so proud of her.
What do you think about that scene?
Well, I mean, it's kind of incredible because that is one of Sutton Foster's ex-husbands.
I know, so I watched the behind the scenes that is on demand for you guys for the season, and you all were like, you kind of didn't really realize he was gonna be there until right before, and you guys all were like, oh my God.
Well, I wasn't aware of Christian Borle until my 12-year-old, who's a huge theater geek, told me about him,
your
and she
12-year-old.
wants to meet him, and the only thing she keeps on asking me is, can I meet him, Christian? So I don't know a whole lot about him. I've seen him probably in plays where I didn't realize who he was. But that scene in particular, it's interesting because she takes a stand, she's really strong,
Yep.
and I think that is what Maggie wants for Liza, because Maggie has always said, okay, Liza, you created the lie. I mean, I created the lie.
You did.
and then, at a certain point, she needs to then figure it all out. But we never thought it was going to become this whole thing.
Right.
So with Christian, at least, I feel like for her to be strong, it's really important because she hasn't been that strong between Josh and Charles.
No.
And so with other lovers, I feel like it's been really great because at least we see Liza have a pair of balls and we see another side to her.
What would Maggie have done in that situation? Grabbed him by the balls?
I don't know, quite honestly, because
Pulled a
Maggie's
knife?
gay.
Pull the knife potentially.
So I don't think she's thinking about that situation.
Liza.
Okay, so it's time for our poll results from the first poll. So last week, Liza and Josh were getting kind of close again. Do we think he could be back in the mix? Okay, and the majority of you said, nix him. What in the hell? I am so upset with you guys. I mean,
Okay.
you're entitled to your opinion. Debbie, what do you think?
All right, well, so a lot of people really are pro, they're pro Charles because he's the good-looking boss. But I have to say, he doesn't know a lot about Liza's information and
Yep.
or her history. And Charles knows her lie. He accepts her.
Yes.
And they have a great thing. And I think that also her relationship with Charles is kind of incredible.
Yeah.
There's the discovery process, and in relationships to peel away the onion peels and to learn about somebody is kind of amazing. So I don't know.
But all your scenes are with Nico, Josh.
They are.
So are you team Josh or team Charles?
Well, I've never met Charles,
Right.
but I think that when Liza comes home and she's excited about this other guy, the problem is that there's this whole idea that there's a problem at work with her age.
Right.
There's a problem at work with her revelation. So I think that Maggie's protective, she wants her to still, listen, Maggie wants to get her side of the rent paid, which is something that no one really talks about on
That's
the show.
so fair and so
I need
true.
to get my paycheck from
Money,
her.
honey.
I need to have and it really is very helpful. So when you think about the reality of what Maggie's going through, Liza is now working
Yes.
and bringing him a paycheck. If she loses that job, now I've got a roommate.
She's your breadwinner.
And, you know, and like, well, no, I make money too, or Maggie does, but I feel like, Maggie really wants Liza to have lovers because I think that she's also very open-minded.
Totally.
And after Liza getting a divorce, it's really important for Liza to explore all of her opportunities. And Maggie's gay.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, hey, you like this guy, you like this guy? You want chicks? No? Okay, if you want, okay, you want to go there? Okay, fine. But I think that Maggie really wants Liza to find herself and to be really happy. So if Liza is happy with Charles, I think that's great.
Right.
And I say I, but Maggie would be very supportive.
So you're team Liza.
I'm team Liza.
I like that.
I'm not team Charles specifically because I've never met him. I've never seen him.
I think Maggie and Charles will get along.
Sure, why not?
I think they would.
He's lovely. I mean,
You're
you
very
know,
cultured. You're in the art. You're an artist.
she knows stuff. She reads. You know, she loves books and stuff. I just think that for the most part, that Josh is something that was a kind of transitioning kind of guy, but it's also something that's very dear to Liza's heart.
Yes.
So I think that there's something there, but I think that Charles might be the more mature, you know, next step thing for her to kind of
Okay.
explore because they are of the same age in reality.
Then I guess I'd take back getting mad about the Knicks. So maybe it's time to nix Josh for now.
No, not next Josh.
Okay, you hear
Never,
that?
never. He lives next door to my apartment.
Yes, I know.
And he also is somebody that is like fantastic and embraces her. And they still have something.
thing, I can
And they
feel it.
had good sex.
Girl, it's a lot. It's everything.
And that is everything.
Okay, let's get into another poll. Let's get another one going on. So, which of these weird sex things on the internet isn't a thing? So we saw on this episode all about bread facing, which I find so fascinating, by the way. So anyway, here are some things that are actually weird internet sex things, but which one is not? So lunars, popping balloons, like to pop balloons, it's going to turn someone on or turn them off. I don't understand it. They tried to explain to me. I still don't get it. Pancaking, which is pouring syrup on each other and flipping each other over. Again, is it like bumping butts? I'm confused. Then there's pedal pumping, which is women trying to start cars. I hope that one's not real. And then Medusa fetish, which is loving up on statues. I mean, you can cast your vote typing in the comment section below.
All of them are kind of crazy.
And we'll get to it in 5 minutes. And keep those questions coming and comments as well. And, well, we have to get to some questions with Debbie, but real quick, I hope none of those are true. Are you disturbed by those?
Well, pancaking?
Yeah, I like that one. Can we bring pancakes into the bedroom? Because then I'm on board.
I like pancaking.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I mean, statue hugging. I mean, I would love to hug the Statue of Liberty
Right?
because it's like, she's amazing. And I see her from like, you know, Fairway in Brooklyn. And I find her so beautiful and she stands for everything that America's about. And so I'm kind of like, I mean, maybe I would hug her. And I'm really proud of the woman whose name I don't remember, but the woman that just recently, you know, did a protest.
And the balloon popping.
Immigration. Balloon popping? I don't get it.
I don't get it either. Well, we're going to find out what's real and what's fake in just a little bit.
Okay.
But first, questions for Debbie. So this comes from Veronica H. Debi Mazar, you are fantastic. I love Maggie. She's got spunk. Are you like her in real life?
No, I'm not like her in real life.
Like what percentage of you is in Maggie?
Well, my hair is like Maggie. I don't like people to do my hair. I just like to slick it back and have my ponytail.
Good,
And
it's working.
so
I
I
love it.
think that there is that kind of similarity. Other than that, like I'm a type A personality. I have kids, I have a husband, I'm a workaholic. Maggie's much more free-flowing. I think Maggie likes to live beautifully. She's an artist and she likes to have good food and good wine. That's something that I take
You love
part
that,
in.
yes.
But we are actually polar opposite.
Polar opposites.
I'm actually a mensch. I say that with love. I'm emotional. I'm softer. I'm harder in terms of work.
Yep.
So we're very different. The only similarity is my hair, because I don't like anybody doing my hair unless I have to play another role where I can't have this hair.
Okay, another question coming in from Corey H. What was your favorite scene to film to date?
My favorites, I have many favorites, but I have to, I think that one of my favorites was filming the bathtub scene with the girl with the mustache.
Oh my God, that was
To have a
the
lesbian
best.
moment where I'm like, with a girl, we're on a date, and like she's got this like this stash,
That you
right?
can't stop
And I want to
staring at.
shave
It's like
her, so we get
tiny
into a
small.
bathtub, and me and the actress actually got into a bathtub that was a Brooklyn clawfoot bathtub.
So tiny.
And we both were wearing like pasties and G-strings. And they tried to fill the bathtub up with bubbles, and she was really tall, and I'm like really curvy, and we barely fit into it. Our legs like wrapped around each other. And we had the best time because she's a great actress, and it was just, the bubbles never stayed on our boobs.
Never.
So and the pasties fell off. And so we had to do this whole scene that was very organic. The whole crew saw like our vaginas and our tits. And they were very respectful. And I just had so much fun because it was like physical comedy.
Yes.
And at its best, at its best.
I
And
love that
I had
scene.
fun. I mean, I've had, I think the shiksa in the mikveh, where I had to like, go into the Jewish pool.
Yep.
And do the whole scene with like, I was literally naked.
I see a
I'm like the
theme.
largest, I'm the most curvy actress on the series, and I'm always naked. But I try to give it up. I try to be real. I try to just like, do my thing and be real. And Darren writes great stuff for me, I have to say. But those are kind of
Those
two of
are
my
the two
favorites. And
favorites.
I happen to be like wearing very little clothes. I'm just taking a sip of this drink on that.
Okay, let's go to Jessica.
Oh my God.
Hi, Debbie. Would you ever consider directing an episode like Miriam did last week?
It's funny. It's a very good question. I feel like there's been moments in my life where I've really wanted to direct, but I don't have that brain.
What is that thing?
Well, the thing is, what people think, oh yeah, be a director. Here's the deal. Like you have to see like, camera right, camera left. You have to understand the shot. You have to get the actors on point. I'm a better producer, I'm a better actor, and I'm also somebody that's a better writer. So directing, you have to be available before and after and revisit stuff, and I don't have that much time or interest. I like to deal with budgets, I like to deal with production, I like to deal with other elements of, there's a lot of things that come into play with a project, whether it's a film or a TV series. And I've often thought to direct, but I think that I would prefer to turn in a project and produce, because I would rather be on set and give notes and have somebody, a director, an assistant director who understand the camera angles, who confer with me.
Yep.
Because I don't have the focus that it takes for directing, or really I had the desire at one point, but I don't have it anymore.
It's gone.
It just like
It has
It
passed.
just left. And 'cause I think in maturing, I've realized what my talents are.
Yes.
And that's not one of my talents.
And also, your plate's a little bit full. You got a lot of hats
But
you wear.
Miriam Shore was an amazing director.
Yep.
She really brought it, and she has that thing where she could fine-tune, watch us, bring out the performance in each character, and then go home, have to edit, have to pay attention. I don't have that. When I get home, I got kids. So does she, by the way.
I know.
I just don't have that focus.
It's just a certain
And
personality. I feel like it's very
a
meticulous,
certain
right?
It's not meticulous. I'm meticulous in other ways. I'm better with producing, knowing where my budget's going, understanding what the set direction, lighting, different things. I know different things, but directing is really specific. And by the way, I could probably do it.
Yes, I know you could.
But
I
I'm
watch you.
But I'm not trying to be a director.
Okay, there you have it.
There you have it.
Asked and
Liza.
answered. And there we go. It is time for another poll result. So which of these is not a weird internet sex thing? Don't forget, that means 3 of them. 3 of them are. Okay, so let's see. You guys, the majority of you guys said pedal pumping. And I actually forget.
Pedal pumping
Okay,
is
so
like...
Okay, so pancaking is actually the false one. The one that Debbie and I like the most, pancaking, is the fake one. So, but the balloon one is real. People pop balloons like to arouse each other. I can't even.
I don't get it.
I don't get it.
I
Pedal
don't get
pumping
aroused
is
with
real.
popping a balloon.
It's like, that's the most sexist thing in the world. And then the Medusa, the statue loving, that's also real. Debbie, thoughts on the internet and sex?
Well, you know what? I have to say, when I go to a museum, I always want to touch like
Statues?
a certain statue to get the energy.
The David, I saw
No.
him. I was ready to go for it.
Touch his penis.
Well, you know, I'm not really into penises
You
these
can't
days.
touch him.
You can't touch it.
But
'Cause
no,
his
but
penis is almost
I
rubbed off.
always kind of want to go like,
He's gonna have a micro penis if everyone touches it.
or a really big one.
They should replace it for him. He deserves it. You'll be seeing it, right? Maybe.
I've seen it already.
You've seen it. She's like, been there, done that.
I'm living in Florence almost 20 years, so.
Okay. It's time for another poll. If Maggie wrote a memoir, what would it be called? Okay, so the
Oh my
color
God.
Maggie, Mag the knife, the owl and the pussycat, or Maggie, may I sleep with danger? So cast your vote right now in the comment section below, and we'll get to your answers in just a little bit. And while you're voting, let's play a game. It's called Did Debbie Do It? So it's basically 2 truths and a lie, but with like a way cuter name. So you're gonna be playing at home using our fan poll, so just type which answer you think is the right, well, the lie, in the comment section below, and let's get this party started. Are you
Okay,
ready?
yeah,
And I don't know the answers, because they're Debbie's truths, and then there's the lie. Okay, so here we go.
Okay.
Did Debbie do it? Which fact is false? I started my career as a makeup artist. I once had a pet ferret named Maisie. I almost hosted Bravo's Top Chef. What do you guys think it is, Debbie? Don't give it away.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna guess and try not to tell me if I'm wrong or right. I feel like you would have a ferret, and that's not an insult.
What's a ferret?
Ferrets are like those cool little squiggly things. It's like a half cat, half dog.
Is it like a squirrel?
Slash rat.
Like a squirrel, like a
Or like
rodent.
a long one, like
Not-
it's like a skinny squirrel.
No, I would not have a ferret. My daughter keeps on asking for one. I'm like, I don't even know what one is. I don't even know what a
Well,
ferret
then in that case, let's go to the polls right now and see where your numbers are, because ferret one is the lie. I wonder how they got that. I think Debbie just told them.
What? You think I had they
Nope,
said-
they know that's the lie. That the ferret
Okay,
that, yeah,
okay,
because
okay.
I mean, essentially we both just told them.
Okay.
We'll do better on the next one. So wait, but first, so makeup artist, yes, you were. I knew that. That one I
Yes,
knew.
I was a makeup
But can we talk about the Top Chef thing? Because that's kind of brand new. You told Andy Cohen that on Watch What Happens Live.
Well, I told Andy Cohen because he asked me, but I never thought about it. But I mean, yes, Andy Cohen came to my house and he asked me to host Top Chef before it was originated. And I was like, I can't do it right now because I just had a baby
Right.
and I'm like really fat right now and I'm breastfeeding and I can't go on the road for 9 weeks. It was a 9-week
I
gig.
forgot. It's like a-
And bring like a pumping machine.
Ugh.
And I already had a cooking show at that point, which I was also working on. So I'm like, you know, I hope you can find somebody great. And they got Padma, who's amazing, who's actually an incredible cook, had amazing cookbooks.
Yes.
And so it all worked out for
I know.
everybody.
I would have loved you. Just saying.
No, but
would've.
I wasn't available, and like it wouldn't be the same show if Padma didn't do it.
That's true.
So
Fair enough.
I'm really happy that she did it.
Well, I still would like to see you maybe pop up on it. Maybe in the near future.
I did pop up on it. I did an
When?
episode.
Which
I
one?
did an episode. I don't remember. I did some episodes.
There's
of
like
it.
a million seasons.
I mean, like, you know, in terms of cooking shows, I've done every cooking show there is, including my own.
Your own, yes.
Which I won 2 James, I won 1 James Beard Award.
Damn.
We've got 1 cookbook that's a New York Times bestseller.
Yes.
And another cookbook that wasn't a New York Times.
Whatever.
The second
You got
one,
two
the first
cookbooks.
one was amazing. And I recommend everybody should get that book.
Absolutely.
Extra Virgin, the first one. But, you know, like, there's no mistakes. I really feel like everybody kind of finds their thing.
Yes.
And, you know, for Top Chef, like, Padma is incredible. She's got incredible cookbooks, Indian, American.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Incredible, and she's beautiful, and she's a great hostess, and probably better than me in some ways for a genre like that. So I always really support my girlfriends.
Yep.
In that way.
So nice, and also
Yeah.
such a huge theme of younger, which is why I think it's such like
That's
a lovable
why it's
show.
great. Like I remember you asked me once in the podcast, like you know, like you guys love each other so much, and like it's just love fest. And I'm like, you know what? Actually, we do love each other so much. But what's amazing about younger is we come to work.
Yes.
And we are professionals that show up on time.
Yep.
We enjoy each other. It's professional, and no one plays diva here.
Right.
In this show. So even though it seems like we're all going to go out and have drinks or party or go to, we all have kids, or
Yep.
we don't, but you know, we
Or
all
like
have lives.
significant others and stuff
yeah,
to do.
And
Yeah.
but we love coming to work 'cause it's a safe place. We all like each other. We tell each other like secrets. But we all show up on time. No one's a diva.
You're
and we
huge.
all have each other's backs at every
Huge.
single show. And that is the hugest thing. On this show in particular, it's been like a really like wonderful experience. A lot of shows you go on, there's some asshole
Yes.
who's like, you know, acting out. There's always somebody that like, you know, isn't bringing it, doesn't know their lines. On this show, everybody comes to work prepared,
Yep.
and it's lovely.
I love that.
It's a great experience, and the writers, the cast,
Why it's so
crew,
amazing.
The crew is amazing. We always get the same crew year in, year out.
It translates.
It's great. It does translate, and it shows up on the screen. Like I have never once gone in to do a voiceover on this show. Not once.
That's incredible.
Not once.
5 seasons.
Sound, you rock. Matt, he rock. Like, you know, like we have transport, that's the same. Transportation, it's Union, it's New York. It's like the balls of New York.
I love it.
The people that work together, and it's great.
Well, that's why the show's so freaking
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, can we get back to your lies and your truth?
Oh, my lies.
Okay,
Right,
so did Debbie do it? I once had a roommate who ran an illegal gambling ring out of our living room, and I found out when the cops showed up. Okay, I once had a roommate who painted over a painting done by Basquiat. Did I say that right?
You did.
And then I once almost hit Martin Scorsese in the head with a scale. Please be true. You guys cast your vote right now. What do you think is the lie of this trio? Okay, so I know you're a big art aficionado, so I'm gonna say that I think that one is true, which is crazy, and I wanna hear the story. I'm praying to Baby Jeebus, that Scorsese thing is real.
Who are you praying to?
Baby Jeebus. Baby Jeebus. But the gambling, I feel like I could see that happening in your life. Okay, so let's see what you guys think is the lie. You guys think that gambling is the lie? Debbie, are they right? Is that the lie? Are the other two true?
Basquiat is true. Scorsese is true.
Gambling's
and
a lie?
gambling is not true.
Okay, wait. Scorsese and the scale. Go. I gotta hear
Okay,
the story.
so during Goodfellas, I had a scene where I freak out and I throw the scale.
Yes.
And I threw the scale, and I threw it, and it literally sailed over Martin Scorsese's head.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I was hoping you guys got into
Marty
a fight.
Duff. No, God, no. I was just, it was my first like big movie, and I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry.
Oh my
God. So that really happened.
And then what about the painting?
The painting, I had a refrigerator that Jean-Michel was, he was Samo at the time, and he had stayed with me as a friend in my apartment.
How cool.
And, well, he was great as a friend, and he painted my refrigerator, which not only had Jean-Michel Basquiat, but also had Kenny Scharf and Keith Haring.
So it was worth how much
My
money
friends.
that door?
It was probably worth at this point, if I had it, $20 million.
Oh my God.
No. But anyway, at the time, it was worth nothing. It was just like a refrigerator that my friends painted
A
on.
fabulosity.
Yeah, and I wasn't thinking it was going to be anything. And then I had a roommate that was vindictive and just decided to paint over it.
You should sue that roommate.
Oh, no, she's gone. She's out of my life. But anyway, and
That's
the refrigerator's
crazy.
gone, and I'm really sad because it was awesome.
Ugh, I'm heartbroken over that.
I think I have one Polaroid somewhere
You gotta
in my
find it.
collection of
Can you
how
Instagram
it
it?
looked. I have to find, it's in
Find it.
boxes somewhere in the basement, which probably is like rotting from humidity in this New York heat.
Oh, that's beautiful. New
Yeah.
York heat.
I've
melting.
archived things, but like I don't necessarily have them archived properly. So
Properly.
they're in like plastic bins in my basement.
Story of my life. All my baby pictures
Yeah.
are like crumpled up and
Yeah.
folded. Thanks, Mom.
And I take them apart, they're like stuck together.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, like I peel them apart. Oops.
Oh, God. Okay, last question. Did Debbie do it? Okay, so I'm
Debbie
besties.
do it?
Did Debbie do it?
Oh,
I'm
scary.
besties with Paul Rubens, AKA Pee Wee Herman. I was on the hip hop variety dance show called Graffiti Rock, or I once was stuck in a roller coaster for 3 hours and calmed everyone down by telling them about my favorite recipes. Vote right now for which one you think is the lie. She's laughing because it happened. That's what's going on.
They all happen.
Okay, so I feel like the roller coaster could work because roller coasters be breaking all over the place. And also, you love to cook, but calming people down. Yeah, you good at that? You good at calming people down?
Yes.
Yes.
I am.
The Pee Wee thing, I definitely know, I know that to be something. I don't know if it's true or false. That could be a trick
there's a
question.
wonderful Playboy article on Pee Wee that he was interviewed on where he breaks it down. But basically, Pee Wee was just one of my best friends.
Best friends.
In a period, we're still very close, but I lived in LA at the time, and he was coming out of a moment of where they tried to shame him for, a movie theater moment.
Yeah.
And like, which was like ridiculous.
It was
'cause, like,
ridiculous.
you're supposed to do it at the movie theater. Anyway, so Pee Wee, Paul is a very dear friend of mine, and people say that we dated. And in essence, we kind of did. Like, we were madly in love with each other as friends.
As friends.
You know, him as a gay man and me as a straight woman. There, it
get
was
it.
kind of like a non. I don't
a
know.
non-sexual love affair.
We were in love, and but we were just having fun as friends. You know when you get like a friend, you're like,
Yes, obsessed
and we
with
would go to like flea markets and drive and have the best time.
the conversations.
And we had like the greatest relationship, and it was like
Yep.
2 years of traveling and going to things. It wasn't a sexual relationship, but it was a formative, very important relationship in my life. It's still very important. That, I consider him one of my boyfriends, actually, because he was. I mean, like, I don't think that sex defines necessarily
A relationship.
the mental and heartfelt stuff. It's not about
It's
actual fucking.
important, but it's definitely important, but
It's sharing of the soul.
but it's
So
not
we had-
everything.
And we had that.
Yep.
We had that, and we even had a ring for the. I still have the ring for the press. We had a ring that he gave me as a joke.
Like an
and
engagement.
the press went off on
No
it.
kidding.
Yes.
Okay, so there you
It's
go.
really
So
funny.
So that's the truth. You were best friends.
We were best friends. He
Okay.
gave me a ring. He loved me.
So then
he gave
there's-
me a lot in my life.
There's 2 more. Okay, so is it dance? So everyone thinks a dance show is a lie, but it's actually the truth. You were on the dance show, weren't you?
What dance show?
You were
Graffiti
on
Rock?
the hip hop.
Graffiti Rock.
Graffiti Rock.
It was directed by Michael Holman. It was the first hip hop dance show ever on television. It didn't really go very far, but it was amazing. We had like amazing talent, and I won Best Jeans.
Yes.
Great thing to like talk about, Best Jeans. But it was great. We had great talent, and it was like the beginning. I was there in the beginning of the hip hop era, and it's funny how it transcended in the future. But it was an early time for a white girl to be
Yes.
on that scene, and
Yes.
I was. And now I talk to my daughter's friends who are like into hip hop, and they're like, "What do you know?" I'm like,
You're like, honey,
read the history
move
books.
over. I
Read the
love
history
it.
books. Done.
Liza.
Okay, guys, that means your poll results are in for our 3rd question about Maggie and her memoir. But first, thank you for that game, Debbie. That was like, those stories are incredible. You have the
They're
most
good
interesting
stories.
life, literally.
I have
Yeah.
better stories to tell, but
Better? Well, girl, you have to come back. Okay, so what is the vote for the memoir. Oh, Mag the Knife won by slightly more than The Color Maggie. I was rooting for The Color Maggie. Debbie, what would you pick for Maggie's memoir?
I like Color Maggie.
Me too, right?
Me too. I think that's kind of like Maggie is full of like a lot of colors and different things in her life, and she's kind of like, she's sort of open and I don't think Maggie knows where she's going. So
Yeah.
Color Maggie, I think, which is not me, by the way.
Right.
I think that Color Maggie is really perfect.
It almost won, came in second. Okay, so tonight's episode of Younger is literally moments away. So we're gonna give you a little sneak peek. This is what happens next. So I'm gonna play a clip from tonight's episode, and then I freeze it at a very special moment, and you're gonna vote on what you think happens next. So this one goes by really quick, so pay close attention. Roll it.
Liza, come here quick!
What's wrong? What is it?
Oh, wow.
Freeze! Okay, that was not Diana Trout yelling for Liza for once in her life. That was actually Maggie. Why the hell would Maggie scream Liza like that? Is it a big cockroach that's in the kitchen? It's New York.
A water bug.
That's fair. Is it Montana, the art thief coming back unannounced? Is it?
Oh my God.
I know, I'm like, please no. Maggie got into a big art show, or could it be Pearl the advice-giving dog got into Maggie's lasagna? I'm telling you,
Who's Pearl the advice-giving
remember the dog that wrote the book?
No. No, I forgot about that one.
Okay, so you guys vote now by typing your answers in the comments section, and we'll get to them in just a little bit. But while the fans are voting, let's play another game. Okay, this is called In Vino Veritas, which means in wine there is truth. Girl,
Okay.
I know that. Okay, so you guys, do you remember this? You wrote questions down when you came for the first episode?
Yes.
Okay, and so these two are written just for you, though. We haven't
Okay.
had this before.
I can't wait.
Okay, so we have time for just one of them. So pick wisely with luck. Okay, so say who it's from.
My name is Sutton.
My name.
I've always wanted to ask Debbie this question. Where is the most fabulous place you've ever traveled to?
Ooh, good question, because you are a traveler, and I know you love Italy, but is that the most fabulous place you've ever traveled to? It's home, right? Hey.
No, Sutton, I have to say, I think it is Italy. And when you go into Tuscany,
Oh.
you see the hills, and you go up to Siena, which is part of Tuscany, and you see the fields, and you see the olives, and how silver they are, and how they reflect in the morning mist with the wild cinghiale, the boars, and the owls, and the deer that come in. And then the family that comes in bearing the wine. I kind of feel like that's my most fabulous place.
Debbie, that was poetic. I
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah.
That felt very Peter Herman-ish.
Liza.
As a comment. As a compliment.
Well, you know, I mean, I've traveled the world, and but there is a special part in my heart.
It's
And
wonderful.
it's also part of my DNA now.
I went on a
I
family
married
trip there.
it. I had sex with it. I now own it.
Do you have babies with
I
it?
married up. I had babies with it. They have the DNA, and that's where my home is, and that's where I'll retire.
I
You
love
can
it.
all come visit me there.
I'm going in her suitcase.
I'm getting a bed and breakfast, so you all got to come see me there.
in. Okay, guys.
I'll entertain you.
I'm coming in. I told
Okay.
you you're packing me in your suitcase tonight.
Yes.
I'm the 10th bag. Okay. It's time for a What Happens Next poll result, and let's see what you guys thought about Maggie yelling at Liza. So the majority of you think that she might be going, into an art show. I wonder, what do you think about them? Are they like, do they have their finger on the pulse of the show?
They do.
They do.
It's time. It's time.
Hey.
Maggie needs that.
Are they wrong, though? Are they right? I don't know. We'll find out soon, because guess what? Tonight's episode of Younger is about to start. It's so good, guys. You're going to love it. Thanks so much, Debbie, for hanging out. You're the best.
Love you.
Love
Mwah.
you. Thank you thank you also to the fans, of course. We love you so much, too. And thank you to Rent the Runway for my jacket. Snazzy. We'll be back next week with Sutton Foster. And in the meantime, be sure to check out our podcast. It's called Younger Uncovered, and it comes out every single Wednesday. We'll leave you now with some amazing bloopers from tonight's episode. See you next week, guys. Bye.
Ciao.
What is it?
Oh my God. The curate is from the... Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know either. Salud.
Ah,
right, yes.
Real champagne, as you know.
And I have a full day of work, so yeah, okay.
Champagne? Is it too early?
Sorry. I heard accounting brought donut holes. I'm sorry, I got really excited.
No, I'm staying at Enzo's tonight. I just brought a few things. Some clothes, crockery, sheets.
But
my television set.
okay.
My fish.
Are you redecorating?
No, just spending the night. It's what normal people do.
Oh, okay.
We're gonna have sex.
You can...
So I brought it. No, it's just all full of condoms. Just the essentials. Toothbrush.
And cut.
What am I? What am I? Who am I? You pulled my earring out.
Oh, sorry. Is it a clip?
This is a clip-on. Oh my God, no! I'd be screaming at the top of my lungs. And he offered me a muffin. What? I think he offered you coffee. But what did I do? I backslid. Here. He offered me coffee.
He offered me a muffin.
You don't want to be in the middle of a swinging competition. I judged one once. I was in Key West. It was really fun, but it was dangerous. Well, I mean, for obvious reasons. There's left and right. They're swinging. They're in your hair. They're in your face. They're in your shirt.
Subscribe to Younger Uncovered.
The podcast dedicated to all things younger.